So if you still face the problem, you can use this version, Flask 2.1.0.
Okay. I also saw the screencaster was using 2.x version only. So it was working well in his version. So I don't know why this problem was coming in mine.
So before first request was going to deprecate, I knew that, but I mean I don't think it should create a problem in Flask security because it runs once. Once you start the application and it receives the first request, then only it runs, and after that it will not run unless you stop and restart the application. I
Yeah,
mean,
so this
this
problem was coming as soon as I run it. So when I run the script python app.py,
yeah.
it gives me this error and then crashes. So it's not going further. Like I'm not getting the server is not being activated.
Okay. So please just either you can send me that screenshot, or you can like post it in the Discord.
Yes, sir. I'm just doing that. Just a second.
I am new to this Mac too. So, in order to use Vue.js, do I need to set up a node as well?
Yeah, actually, it's not required. So if you can use the CDN if you don't want to use the node.
Okay, okay. Like how Bootstrap CDN is there, like Vue.js
Yeah,
CDN.
CDN is also there.
Okay.
So is the node completely should be avoided, or if required, we can use it from our end.
Node, no, no, you can use at your end.
It is not. It should not be. I mean, it's not considered to be avoided.
No, no. So
Okay,
if
sir.
you're using the CLI, then I guess you will be using the node.
Sir, how to assign a token to a user and then like once he clicks on logout, how to make it expire like token?
See, generally what happens is like the client sends a request with username and password to the server, and server sends a token to the client, and you store that token inside the browser, either using session storage or local storage.
Okay,
And then so the logout will be, I mean, so the logout button will be on the browser. So once you click on the logout browser, you can remove that token from the local storage or session storage, whatever storage you are using.
okay. Like from where do I need to get the token in order to save it in the local
from
storage?
from the server.
I
See,
still need a distance.
no,
Like
see what happens, you the client, so the communication is happening between the server and the client, right? And
that is
yeah,
same, but
browser.
code wise, I don't know like how to write it.
Okay, so either you can use Flask Security, they have simplified this process, or you can
Okay,
use Flask JWT. You can explore both of these. See,
okay, okay.
using Flask Security is, in my opinion, is better. The
Ah,
reason why I'm saying, because in the Mat 2, both the projects require the RA, like role-based access control.
okay, sir.
So, I mean, the role-based access control is like built in the Flask Security. So it's a
Okay, sir. Okay. These like concept of token is discussed in the videos of Mac 2, like further videos.
yeah. We will discuss in the live session too. So how to
Is
set
it
up?
there in the lecture videos? I'm asking.
Yeah, we will be discussing that the class security in one of the live sessions.
Sir, I've sent you the mail.
Okay.
Also, sir, in the screencast, sir was using SQL Alchemy Session User Data Store,
One
but
second.
yeah, sorry.
Read this first. Yeah, I think it's in the class security. Class security is using the before first request because it says the error is in site package slash class security slash core.py.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'll check and get back to you.
Yeah, because I followed the same like flow of what sir was doing in the session. I mean, the screencast. Sir had not used any decorator, so
Okay. Or simply you can use that the version which I pasted in the chat.
sure, sir, I'll try that.
Okay. Yeah, someone was asking something.
Sir, how I'm supposed to like connect my application with Google Chat using Webhook?
So this thing we will discuss in one of the session. So what happens? The Google Chat gives you a webhook URL,
Okay.
and with some event you trigger that webhook, and
Hmm.
then the email will automatically will be sent. So you don't have to
So
do a lot
like
of things there.
Webhook is like different than API. So can't we just use like some Google API or
Yeah, yeah,
something for this? Is it different?
yeah. It's different.
Okay.
See, so the API in the API client makes a request to the server.
Hmm.
See, the communication is happening between two systems. Let me explain once again. So what I'm saying that in the API, the client makes a request to the server, but in the webhook, server sends the data automatically based on some events. The client doesn't have to make a request. So if
Oh, okay.
so so in your case, if you want to send some message to the client, I mean, unless if you will use the API, then client has to make a request like in some time
Hmm.
interval
Yeah.
if he wants to get the latest in. But if you use the webhook, as soon as that event will be triggered, that message will be sent by the server by itself.
Okay.
So
So it will like I will create an event, and when my event is like true, so it will just do the work.
yeah,
It ceased to do. The server will do it without like the interference of the
without
client.
yes. So server will send the like response based on that event.
And like it says I have to send it, check if the user have has not visited and booked anything. So
Yeah.
is it like so if the user registered and it's he's not booking like for a day he didn't book, so I have to send the message, or when do I have to like actually send
No,
it?
no. Yeah. So you can. We will discuss salary in probably eighth or ninth week.
Okay.
So what the salary does is like you can set you can what you say like you can schedule some task.
Hmm.
Schedule by scheduling means you can configure your task in such a way that it will be sent at a particular time every day or every month or any time interval you choose. So this will be done by the salary. So what you have to do, you have to check whether the user has booked any movie or something, and if not, then you trigger that event. Like you can send the message to the user via the book.
Okay, and I can decide like if I have to send every day or
Yeah,
yeah.
no, it's. I think it's written in the
Yeah, it's written every
requirement.
day, like
Yeah.
every day at a particular time.
Yes.
And what is salary? Can what is the spelling of it? Like,
Celery. Celery is basically used for the asynchronous tasks. But using Celery Beat, you can schedule the tasks and publish that task at particular time every day
okay,
or
this is salary is for Python.
yeah,
So and like so it does like the JavaScript also does have like asynchronous nature. It
yeah.
uses like so it's kind of like that version of Python. Or,
Yes. So if you have some task which will take a lot of time to complete, then you can use
Mhm.
Celery
Okay.
in the Python. Yeah.
Sir, can you is there any session that you've done previously in the previous terms about celery, like setup of celery in Windows? Because sir is using
In
Mac,
in
right? So
Windows, I think it's not possible.
using WSL, it's not possible.
Yeah, with using WSL, it's possible.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So if
we have done the session on
yeah,
Celery.
so if possible, can you like give the link or something? Is there
Yeah,
any
yeah,
repository?
yeah. I'll paste it in the on the Discord.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir. Can you give us all the session link of Matu project which done in last term?
Okay. I think it's already on the Discord.
But sir, I'm not able to find it out. Can you share that discourse link as well?
I'm not able to find it now, but I'll again like paste it on the Discord.
Okay, sir.
No problem, sir. It's okay.
Anything else?
So, can we ask project doubts in the other live sessions that you take for Mat 2? Or is this just this day?
I mean, it's better if you ask in the project session.
Okay.
But if you like need the urgent help, then you can ask there also. No issues.
Okay, sure, sir.
Anything else?
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Sir, I have two projects in this term, Med1 and Med2, and I have almost completed Med1 project. Can you guide me how to start it with Med2 project with 3 weeks of content? Because fourth week is running, and I have also Med2 subject in this term.
Yeah. So the best way would be the first create like convert your like controller in APIs. In APIs means, so right now I guess what you would be doing is like you are rendering the HTMLs, but for the Mat2 you will need the JSON data. So convert all your, I mean, because you have already written all the logic in your controller, you can just change the return statement into JSON, in JSON format instead of HTML. So this would be a help. And then once you have the API, you can like either use the CDN or the CLI for creating the Vue app.
Okay.
And then you'll have to do a lot of things if you are running, if you are running both client and server on different, like if you are running both front end and back end on the different servers, then you'll have to communicate between them. Like you'll have to take a lot of mm, uh, so you'll have to take care of the cross site request, what you say,
COR
yeah, course
restriction.
error, cross origin request, and I don't think you'll need anything else. I mean, you'll have to set up the salary for sure, and then you'll have to learn how to use the fetch function for making a API call. I mean, you'll have a lot of things to learn before you start the project. Like starting can be the first thing I would recommend you to convert your controllers in the API. It will make your life way easier. What you can do, you can copy all your controllers in some different file and then just change the change the response format in applications less JSON. So you don't have to write all your logics again and again. Have you submitted the Mad1 project?
Med1 project?
Yeah.
No.
So you are saying that you have okay, you have already
At least
like
one more.
almost completed the project.
Actually, I'm making API for Med1 project.
Okay. So if you are already making the API, so you have done half of the work.
Okay. And most of the things that you have just said, I am not much aware at this point about Med2 project.
Yeah.
So, can you say that in which week I can get started with all this knowledge?
So I think we start the view in week 3 or 4.
Yes.
So I mean, the Mat2 project requires like week 11, like the content till week 11,
Okay.
because you need to implement the caching and like backend jobs, which will come much later in the course.
Okay.
So what you can do, you can like or if you already have the API, you can start. You can start exploring the view and just try to create the UI for your application using Vue.
Okay. And problem statement will be same for both project, right?
No, not the same. There is slight difference.
I mean, like I have grocery store for Med one.
Yeah. So for Mat2, it's also the grocery store V2, but I think
Okay.
there is a slight change. So in Mad1, I guess you'll have only two roles, admin and the users.
Yes.
But in the Mat2, there are three roles. One is admin, then storekeeper, and then store manager, and then the users.
Okay.
So are you using what library are you using for the role-based access control
Plus security.
plus security?
Yes.
Okay. I mean, if you are using Flash security, your life will be much easier because
Okay.
so what you can like if you see the authentication thing, all you have to do you just have the like URL for the login is already given in the Flash security. So which Flash version are you using?
Let me see. Plus 2.3.
2.3.
2.3.2.
Okay. And it's working fine with Flash security.
Yes.
So someone asked me, so Celine, I guess you were facing problem for the
Yes.
using Flash security with Flash 2.3.2.
Yes, sir.
So he's saying that it's working fine.
Yeah. I don't know. So
So what are you using? Are you using Flash security or Flash security 2?
plus security.
No, no, you'll have to use Flash security 2.
Yes, sir.
I'll
Actually, I
write-
am using plus security too.
Yeah,
Okay, okay.
Flash security 2. I'll write it in the chat.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
It's kind of upgraded version of Flash security.
Okay.
They have I mean the guy who created Flash security or the community who created Flash security have stopped maintaining it, so they have forked that project and created the Flash security too. They have upgraded some of the functionality in Flash security.
Okay. I'll try that.
Okay, so if you are using Flash security, then I mean it's much easier for you.
Yeah, that is why I wanted to know. Like, I do not want to go into JWT and all.
Yeah, especially when you'll have to implement the role based access control. If you don't have to use, then Flash JWT is better option.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
So all you have to do in the Flash security, if you are using, I don't know whether you have in the users tab, do you have, like we will discuss in one of the sessions, the Flash security will be discussed in the detail in Mat to how you can use the token based authentication using Flash security.
Okay. Are you doing this soon, or will that come slowly, like in the later weeks?
Yeah, in the later weeks, I guess it will come in the next to next week.
Okay, okay. So it won't come before this deadline, right? 2nd July one.
I don't think so,
Okay.
because before that we will have to cover a lot of things. Like,
Yeah.
how- so we'll start with the Flask, with the view in this, like in this week, and then
Okay.
slowly we'll move to the components, and then we'll go to the API calls and how to use the like the response sent by the API calls, and then we'll move to the Flash security, like authentication and authorization.
Okay. Sure. So whenever you are like whatever you are discussing in those sessions, can you just put it in the discourse
Okay,
so we'll know what is the like what are you discussing. So if we want to attend, we'll attend those lectures.
okay,
Since I'm not like I'm not a student, I'm not doing theory right now, so I don't know what is going on in the live sessions.
okay. So the reason I'm saying that it will take at least 2 weeks, because before that you'll need to know all the like asynchronous APIs like fetch, promises, and all before you make use of the Flash security APIs. So are you using Flash RESTful for the API, or just JSON, using JSONify to convert the response in JSON?
Actually, I haven't started yet, but I am going to use RESTful.
Okay. Yeah, the code will be cleaner.
Okay.
Yeah, the code will be cleaner, and you will be able to like put the validations in much cleaner way.
So can we use a mixture of both?
Yeah, yeah. So as long as
Yeah,
your
right.
API is producing JSON, I mean there is no restriction that you'll have to use the Flash RESTful or something. The only
Okay.
requirement it should be like produce the JSON so that you could make use
Yeah.
of it on the front end. See, this is all about the request and response. How are you making request and how are you sending response? It doesn't matter which framework are you using. But these libraries and these extensions are created for specific purpose. Like Class RESTful is only created for the to build the APIs. That's why it has all these functionalities, the request parsers and all, the Marshall.
And sir, what is the last date for this submitting project?
For this term,
Yes.
I think it's in the. I'll have to check.
It's 8th August, sir.
8th August.
Okay. Sir, I think 8 August is before the week 11.
Week 11.
Week 11 is useful for this project, and how can we use that information?
I think usually we recommend to do the project after you complete the theory course. So if you want to complete it in this like term, then you'll have to make extra effort. I mean, I guess in the week 11, what we will be discussing, we will be discussing sending the emails using the salary and maybe the caching in week 10 or 11. And I think the caching is like important for the project. It's in the core requirement. You can make use of the previous terms, live sessions, if you really want to complete it in this term.
Actually, few terms before, I'm not sure, probably in last December term, the deadline was 14 January, which is after the end term. Because my friend had made 2 projects in this that term, both theory and project. So he said that his exam, his deadline was after the exam. So it will be much useful that if deadline is after the exam, because we can use all the information and we can study all this all the week, so that we can apply. But if it is 8 August before the 11th week, then it is very difficult.
Yeah, the submission deadline is 8th August. So you'll have to appear for the level 1 Viva and then level 2 Viva. It takes some time to complete the whole process. See, once you submit the project, then you will take 2 or 3 days to for the plagiarism check, and then you will book the slot for level 1 Viva and then level 1 Viva. So if once all the level 1 Viva complete, then you'll go for the level 2 Viva, and then once the all the level 2 Viva is complete, then we'll be able to release the result. So it will take some time. It takes like almost 2 weeks to complete the whole process after the submission deadline is over.
Actually, I want to do both project in this term, because I am direct diploma student and this is my last term. I have last remaining 2 subject in this term. So if I make one more term, then I only have to do a project.
Okay, see, if if you want to complete it in this term, then I'll suggest you to like see the Flask caching and how to send mails. This has already been discussed in the previous terms live session, so you can take the reference from there. And Flask caching is very simple. I would say the simplest in all the like concepts which we are using in Mat2. It will take like hardly 2 to 3 hours to like fully understand the Flask caching. So 2 to 3 hours is like slightly overestimated, but Flask caching is really simple, and but you'll have to learn how to make the how to send the email. That you'll have to learn. It's slightly difficult. So if you want to complete it in this term, then you'll have to make extra effort.
Okay. But I request you, if it is possible, then extend the deadline.
See, it's very hard to extend the deadline because like we discuss a lot before we decide on the deadlines. So we see a lot of things and then we decide on the deadlines. So as I said, once the deadline for the submission is over, it will still take around 2 to 3 weeks to complete the whole process. So if you push the deadline too far, then it will be difficult for us then, because we will have to release the result too.
Okay.
So what I would recommend to you is like you go and check the so in mails, in sending the mail you will require the salary, but it's not necessary to use the salary to send the mail. You can send the mail without using the salary. So I would recommend you to learn how to send the email from the using in the Python, and then once you understand the salary part, then you can directly use that knowledge, and you're like, I would say it will be easier for you if you really want to complete the project in this.
All right. Could you please suggest some resources where we can learn from?
Okay, you can learn from the previous terms live session.
Okay. Mhm.
we will be using SMTP lib for sending the emails. I'll put it in the chat. If you are interested, you can read this document. But before that, we will have to set up the mail hog, which is like proxy, which is kind of dummy the SMTP server, because you will need SMTP server in order to send the email. So it's a SMTP client. I mean, it gives you the SMTP client too. We'll discuss it in the detail in the live session. But if you are interested, you can. Yeah, one sec.
Hello, hello, hello.
And see, the most unfortunate part is the like celery Redis setup. These are the most difficult part of Mac 2. So I think it will be very difficult for you to understand without any help. I mean, you can, so if you want, you can explore all these things, but it will be much easier with the help, and you will have to wait for it, because unless we complete all the like the concepts regarding the view, we cannot move to the celery part. You can think of Mag 2 in the two sections. The first part is completely centered on for the front end, and the second part is kind of extension of the Mat 1, where we discuss only the back end part, but kind of advanced things about the back end, like how to optimize the performance, this kind of stuff. So, any question? So, if not, can we close the session then?
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. Thanks for
Thank you,
the.
sir.
Yeah, one thing, if you want any kind of help in Mat to, like, if you want to cover any topic for this for the project, then you can ask on the discourse and we'll arrange the session in the project too.
All right.
Okay, sir. So that celery, if you have the session, please forward the link.
Okay.
The celery setup
Okay.
for Windows.
Okay. Okay, thanks.
Thank you.